Hi everyone, today is the 9th of March 2012. It's a Friday. Yes, it's a very, very windy day in Malta, force 10 winds, so no going out for us today. It's very chilly, so I'm keeping my school uniform on even though it's not that warm. But yes, I got a question from someone on dailybooth that watches my videos. If you don't have my dailybooth, actually no, I'm not going to give you my dailybooth because my dailybooth is not from, well, I don't know, I don't really advertise my dailybooth, so if you find me, you find me, if you don't, you don't. But anyway, I got a question on dailybooth from akasazi, I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry, akasazi, akasazi or something. Yeah, and he asked me, request for your next vlog, read us something you've written, you like to write, maybe something original, not a fanfic. Right, I was thinking of that, and it's a good idea, but I don't want to bore you, so I'm not going to read you a lot. I'm going to read you a piece from 3 different books of mine. Yes. Okay, so my published, they're not exactly published in stores, but they are printed. There are these 2. And then I have one in the process of being printed, and then I have another one which I gave to my teacher that is reading it at the moment. But anyway, this was the first book I've ever really printed, and it's called The Immortal Diaries, and I wrote it after reading Twilight, so it's about vampires, and it's called Tend. And yes, I'm not going to read you this part because it's quite crappy, because I wrote it when I was around 11, well not 11, around 12 years old, and from then I've improved quite a lot. So yes, that is The Immortal Diaries. This is the one that I printed during summertime. It's called Oceana, and it was when I had this massive obsession with mermaids, and I read the book Mermaid by Caroline Turgeon. Yes, so I'm going to read you a piece from this. It's not going to be from the beginning, so you won't really understand. Okay, so I'm going to find you. No, I'm not going to find you. I'm going to find a piece. Okay. Okay. Well, it's a hardback, and it's got like a cover, like normal books do. Okay. Here we go. This is from chapter 6, so you don't know the characters, you don't know the storyline or anything, but I'm just going to read to you so you can kind of hear my writing style. Okay, so. As Sophia grinded into the lily petal with a hammer utensil, Bianca watched her with glazed eyes. Sophia finally turned to her and smiled. "Will you pass me a container?" she asked. Bianca looked through Annabelle's cupboards in a daze for a container before she found one and passed it to Sophia. "Is everything okay?" she questioned as she poured the lily powder into the container. Bianca nodded her head as she stared at her shifting feet. "It's just, don't you feel like something we don't know about is behind this?" Sophia turned to her. "Behind what?" This whole adventure. 2 weeks ago we were at school, dreading the summer without Taylor, hoping something magical would happen." Sophia smirked. "Something magical is happening. This is it. We found Sabrina, and as long as we help her, we get a wish." Bianca shook her head. "What if we can't trust her? What if she's lying?" Sophia sniffled. "Mermaids are good creatures. Why would she be bad?" "She's not a real mermaid. She's a human that was turned into one for theft." "We don't know anything about her past. Nothing," Bianca argued. Sophia hesitated, absorbing Bianca's words. "She knows about Taylor." "Maybe she watched the news," Bianca cried. There was a sudden stamping as Annabelle hurried into the room crying. She reached into her drawer and pulled out a kitchen knife, aiming it at the approaching Sabrina. You know, Annabelle shrieked. Karen ran into the room between Annabelle and Sabrina. "Stop it, Annabelle, let's hear her out." Sabrina's face looked horrified. Bianca and Sophia stood shocked. "You knew how our friend died? You watched her die after all this time we tried helping you, and you didn't say anything?" Annabelle screamed. "I thought if I told you too much you wouldn't have helped me," Sabrina trembled. "Tell us, now," Annabelle roared. Okay, so that's the piece I'm going to read to you. From there. Then I have a piece from... okay, so you don't want a fanfic, but I'm going to read you in case any of you like the Hunger Games. And this is what I'm working on currently. So, yes. This is from the Hunger Games. It's just a small piece of it, and it's written in the present tense like the actual Hunger Games books. So, my breathing quickens as the booming voice of Claudius Templesmith echoes out of the landscape surrounding the 24 of us standing on our metal plates. 10, 9, 8. My insides churn and I try to look unafraid, sly as a fox. I catch a glimpse of the dark-haired girl from District 2. Her black eyes are staring at the middle of the landscape, at the cornucopia, not daring to dart her eyes away from the strap of knives that lay helplessly on the grass a few meters away from her. 7, 6, 5. Katniss Everdeen is squinting her eyes at Peeta Mellark, the star-crossed lovers. Peeta is shaking his head at her, warning her. 4, 3, 2. Cato, the male courier from District 2, is gritting his teeth, tapping his feet on the plate beneath him, nostrils flared, ready to murder the people around him. 1. The rush of emotions that instantly devour my body leaves me helpless. The sphere I was hoping to acquire from a couple of steps away from me is the least of my desires. I want to go home. I want to be beside Anastasia and Silver. Not around these teenagers poised to kill me. Instead, I turn around and sprint towards the extremely tall grass behind me. As soon as my feet touch the first stretch of grass, the cannon fires and the first tribute is dead. Sorry, that was weird. Okay, so that is a piece that I'm working on at the moment from the Hunger Games. It's in case you didn't really get that, it's Foxface's bit. I'm writing the Hunger Games from the beginning, but from Foxface's perspective, because we didn't really know much about Foxface. Now, this is my most prized book at the moment. It's called Russian Destiny. This is the one my teacher is reading at the moment. Yes, I'm just going to read you the beginning piece of it. So yes, it's called Russian Destiny. The rattle of weak window panes could be heard from outside. The chilly feeling of loneliness washed over me as I stared at the shattered snow globe on the wooden parquet floor. My breath rattled. What had just happened? The rest was a blur. The maroon Range Rover pulled over to the side of the road, the windows rolling down. A salt and pepper head popped out. His eyes were shielded by squared sunglasses and his beard was shaven. "Hey there," he smiled, revealing the slight bit of dimples. I smirked. "Hey, Dad." I had no energy left in me. The train ride from Colorado to Kansas was tiring. As I climbed down the train station steps, the warmth shot in. Nice and warm Kansas in the middle of May. Dad emerged from the Jeep and moved over to my bags, a bright pink duffel and a blue roller. He carried them into the back as I climbed into the passenger seat. The familiar smell of Orbit gum and cigarette ashes washed over me, a horrid yet pleasant scent. He jumped in beside me and slammed the car door shut. He turned to me and smiled a kind smile. "How have you been, Princess?" he cooed. I took a deep breath, facing the road. "Fine," I mumbled. He sighed painfully. "Honey, I'm sorry you had to go to that institute. You know it was for your own good." My heart began racing. I did not want to talk about it on my first day back, nor my second, nor my third. I pushed a few strands of dark brown hair behind my ears and turned on his stereo. A modern Katy Perry song played out. I drummed my fingers on my lap and waited for him to start the car, but he continued scrutinizing my face. Okay, so that is all I'm going to read to you. If you have any requests for me to send you pieces of my book, or if you'd like a copy of my book, which I doubt you will, I can send one in for free. Yes. This is my favorite food. I think I said that in past videos. This is actually my favorite food. It's peppers. Green peppers and cucumber. Just amazing. Okay, so sorry for the boring vlog of people who don't read or are interested in my reading, but this was a request, so yeah. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.